So I'm Jeff, and usually I introduce myself. I say I'm from the web. I'm clearly not from the desktop, but I wonder more and more if I'll be saying I'm Jeff from the mobile web or Jeff from the App Store or something like that in the future. And actually thinking back to some of Lori's slides way at the beginning and young children on the mobile devices, I don't know if I'm embarrassed or a little bit kind of tickled by the fact that one of my son's first words was iPad. We're talking today about our ActiveView PDF, which is our platform for reading digital articles that go beyond the replacements for the printed page that we all know and love, the PDF. And I'm not here to disparage the PDF. Hopefully that won't come across that way, but I do have some harsh words for the PDF. The headline today, I hope this is what you take away, if nothing else, is that the PDF is a dead end. We're all internet publishers here, and that's important because you never really want your website or your web page to be a dead end. You want it to be an interconnected set of nodes, and in fact on the web I think it's even more important. You've kind of got a dichotomy. You can either be a self-contained app, or website for that matter, or you can be a highly connected tool, but it's really tough to be somewhere in the middle. So for our ActiveView PDF, we wanted to be highly connected, and that's some of what we'll show here in this presentation. But of course, as PDFs go, people like them. You know, there's a lot of good things about PDF. They're portable, they're shareable, they're annotatable, they work on mobile devices even today, but they kind of hit an end when you want to do anything beyond just what's on the printed page. The best thing you can really say about a PDF is that it's good enough. The cons, of course, are that I have no idea what happens to a PDF when a reader comes to my site and downloads it. I know how many PDFs have been downloaded, but I don't know how many times they've read that article. I don't know how many times they've shared that article. I don't know if they've annotated it. I don't know if they've highlighted anything in it. As publishers, I'd really like to know what is it about my content that you as a reader find useful and valuable, and I get none of that out of the PDF. And yet, despite all of the challenges with PDFs, we have lots of tools that make PDFs better. So there are lots of great things you can do with PDFs and lots of great tools that you can work into your workflow. But of course, all of them are really just trying to make something that really isn't so great a little bit better. So that's why last year, actually in March of 2013, ACS launched our ActiveView PDF. All of our journal articles from 2010 forward are available in ActiveView PDF format, as well as our HTML full text and our PDF. We haven't taken PDF away, but we've had 5 million articles read in ActiveView PDF format since we launched it. It's a Flash tool, so it's not yet mobile, and I'll talk a bit more about that in a little bit. But it kind of bridges the gap between the PDF and our full text HTML. Like many of you who are publishers, you probably recognize that sometimes our HTML full text can be a tough sell. We have a lot more downloads in our full text PDFs, and yet we have a lot more functionality and features, and we spend a lot of time on our full text HTML. ActiveView PDF allows us to bring some of those elements of our full text HTML to the composed view that I call of our ActiveView PDF. And we also tie it in together, speaking to that bit of not wanting it to be a dead end, we tie it together with our ACS ChemWorks platform. So here is that printed page version of the article that we're all familiar with. Again, I call it the composed view of the article because that's really what it is. Back in the days of the printing press and even earlier on in the days of digital publication, we composed our articles, sometimes in InDesign and other places, for print, and then we still do so today. But our full text HTML is different than composed view. It's reflowed. It means that regardless of the size of the page, it can shapeshift and it can adapt. But we know that what our readers really want is the composed view of the article. So what we've done to our ActiveView PDF is we've added some functionality on the left-hand side in our navigation bar. You can navigate through by the references in the article. You can say I want to jump down to reference 21 or reference 16 in this case, and it'll take you to the first place in the document where reference 16 shows up. You can also cycle through if reference 16 shows up multiple times. And then within the body of the document, you can click on references and get all of the citation information. So I popped it up here via our relationship with SciFinder at CAS. We're able to pull in abstracts and citation metadata for these references, regardless of whether they're ACS journal articles or not. And then once you've taken a look at this article, again, trying to make those network connections, you can make a decision if you want to follow that chain to the reference. You can actually click on links in here that will take you into SciFinder or over to Crossref or over to PubMed and other places that you can read that article. We've added a supporting information right here on the page. Traditional PDFs, you need to read them, and then say, well, I want to link back to that supporting information, so let me go find the web page about the article, which is somehow different from the article itself, and I need to go and gather that information. We're able to add it right here on the page. We're also able to place annotations on the article. We have a lot of annotation tools up here at the top, and as you annotate the article, it would really be a shame if you then had to put it into your reference management tool or document reader and lose all of these features of ActiveView PDF. But fortunately, via our connection with ACS ChemWorks, we're able to save those annotations into your ACS ChemWorks personal library. We're able to sync them as soon as you work on them, so you don't have to worry about whether you've recently saved it as you're working on the document. It's automatically synced, and you can see up in that upper right-hand corner when it has synced and know that your information is safe. And then, of course, you'll be able to access it again later, either by coming back to this page, you can just bookmark it, or by working with the ACS ChemWorks workflow. And a piece of that is our ACS ChemWorks mobile app, and this allows you to take those documents and the annotations that go along with them and pull them up when you're on the road. So you've synced your annotations, and now, as you're out and about, you're able to see the article and the annotations. This is an app that you can get from the App Store, but we've been doing a lot of work under the hood, so a bit more about that coming soon. Got some auto-advancing going on here, but this is the ACS ChemWorks library, so you can see once I've synced the document in there, it's available. I can access it when I'm offline, so if you're on a flight and you're not willing to pay for the Wi-Fi, you can always do your work. You can sync your annotations, then when you land, you can sync them again, and it'll all be available again in our ACS ChemWorks workflow. So it's all available from any place that you access it. And then when you're ready to write your article, you're able to do that with ACS ChemWorks as well. You can open up your Word document, choose which references you're looking to cite, and easily add them into your manuscript. You're also able to share these documents, and in fact, you can do it in a really useful way without having to worry about copyright issues. You can share a link to the document, and everything that's needed to go ahead and download that document in one click is available right from within ACS ChemWorks. Your annotations won't be shared, those are personal, but you're able to easily get onto that document. Sorry, we're advancing a little fast here. So now that ACS ChemWorks and ActiveView PDF have been out for a little while, we wanted to do some understanding of how our users are actually interacting with this content and what they think of our full text overall, not just our ActiveView PDF. So hopefully you can read some of the survey data we have up there. But we asked things like, what keeps you using PDFs? How and when and where do you find and read articles? And how do you see your reading patterns changing in the future? On the whole, people were really eager for the benefits of digital workflow tools, and they like things like sharing annotations, but they're still very wary of doing all of it in digital workflow. 30% say that they already read articles on a tablet whenever they can, but the majority still feel that there are some things that they'll always need to print out in order to be able to do it. ActiveView PDF is not intended to take away the ability to print it out. What we're looking to do is to say, well, what can we do that we can't do today by printing it out? Can we provide something that makes you say the next time, maybe I will take a look at that full-text HTML or the composed view, the ActiveView PDF, and not always go straight to that full-text PDF, because maybe there's something else that I do need in there, whereas today that's not something most of our users feel. So what are we doing with our ActiveView PDF? In addition to catching up on our HTML5, our crack team of engineers are fitting ActiveView PDF into the browser without Flash. It'll be fully mobile ready, so you'll be able to access it on your mobile device, you'll be able to access it on your desktop device, you'll be able to work it into your ACS ChemWorks workflow just like you do today. And we're envisioning that these mobile experiences, as some of the other panelists have talked about, will have different components to them. The tablet experience will be our lean back experience. It'll replicate that experience of what you can do with paper, or almost everything you can do with paper, in the sense that you'll be able to sit back, you'll be able to look at it, you'll be able to regain some of the serendipity of the experience of sitting down with a journal and flipping through pages and learning about what's in an article beyond just the article itself, but moving on to the next article in the issue as well. And we anticipate that the phone will do some of these things, but for the most part, it won't be your primary connection with the article itself. It might do in a pinch if you want to quickly peruse an article and see if you want to look at it later, or pull up some of your annotations or that one piece of data that you really needed just in a quick moment, but it won't be the way that you generally interact with articles. And of course, we really just want to see if we can make it more accessible both on the road and when you're traveling and when you're at home. when we do launch the next version of ActiveView PDF, it will be, I guess, a new platform for us to experiment with. So over time, we're looking to experiment with a number of different things. Most of you who raised your hands earlier that you have a mobile phone on you or you have a tablet device with you, many of them today have much higher resolutions than the laptop that you carry around as well. And in fact, most of the images that we've been collecting at ACS, and probably you as well as publishers, don't have the resolution to really support what those devices can do. So we want to look into how we can make that a better experience without making it a much larger PDF that you have to download all at once. We want to be able to do things like interactive figures and tables that we've all been talking about for a long time. It's great to have that picture there, but when you really want to narrow in, is it simply that you want a zoomed in figure, or do you want to be able to take a look at the data behind it and see some of those correlations? And then we want to be able to experiment with other types of storytelling. Each night my son, as I've talked about earlier, gets a bedtime story, and that bedtime story typically consists of a number of pictures with a little bit of supporting text. And yet all of our articles are a lot of text with a few supporting images to them. So what types of stories could we or our authors tell if they had a lot more flexibility, something that they couldn't do on just a printed page today? So finally, as I was preparing for this presentation and showing it around to some colleagues, somebody reminded me that not all dead ends are actually the end. Many of them are runways. And in this respect, I think that's exactly what we're doing with ActiveView PDF. It respects the heritage of the PDF and by extension the printed pages that they represent. It acknowledges the feedback from our readers that they like the composed view of an article, but it introduces them to the possibility of something more than what the PDF alone is able to do. And just in closing, my final thought is that with journal articles, they're stories that the researchers tell about the facts of their work, but they're also the stories that they tell about the significance of their work. They represent the pride of a job accomplished and a mountain summited. Articles need to give authors the tools that tell these stories, and they shouldn't be limited to what can fit on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. ActiveView PDF and ChemWorks are the tools that tell these stories, and they advance the cycle of comprehension that will lead to the next great breakthroughs in tomorrow's impactful articles. Thank you.